Good morning, everyone. I already see we got some people here. Welcome to Saturday Morning Mapmaking. I am your local cartographer, Moss, and yeah, let's just hop right into it. I see we already got 40 Viking in the chat, we got Darth Dave in the chat, and we've got Fantastic Sarcastic in the chat. Hello, my friends. Hello. Thank you for stopping in. Dave says... Holy Saturday is a true Sabbath and Easter Vigil. See, Dave is on my side, whereas Fantastic Sarcastic, you, well, I think you're on my side, but you have a strange way of showing it. It's hard to say sometimes. So let's just hop right into it. I think we are in need of a wizard's tower, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. There we go. All right. Gotta make sure everything is in order and you guys are having all of the proper sounds reach your ears, including the sultry and dulcet tones of my voice. That side is to tops. What? That side is to top side. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Fantastic. Chrysanth! Hello, Chrysanth! Chrysanth celebrates your subscription for 10 frickin' months. Have we been doing this for that long? Shoo! Easy for you to watch. There you go. There you go. Okay. I understand now. I'm glad that I'm easy for you to watch. You know what? I just kind of assumed that people kind of just turn this on and then perhaps roll back over and go back to sleep. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I personally find a lot of value in streams that I can just flip on and go to sleep. It's really nice. We do love Nuggy Smalls over here. We love Nuggy Smalls. Thank you for stopping in, Chrysanth. We appreciate you. All right, so here's the deal. We got to make a wizard's tower, right? Went to bed early so you can have a nice, relaxing morning out on the porch. That's fantastic. That's such a great idea. I did not go to bed early last night. In fact, I was in bed at like 2 o'clock. No, it was like 1 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock. Playing Crimson Desert. In fact, I might play some Crimson Desert here, well, at some point today on the channel, instead of doing something productive, because I was going to cut the grass today. I was going to do some yard work, and it decided to rain yesterday quite a bit. So I don't know if any yard work's going to get done today. We're just going to have to see about that. You spent all day cleaning for Easter? Yeah, you got people coming over, don't you? Yep. Not me, friends. Not me. I got other people cleaning so I can come over. That's how you're supposed to do it. Is muggy as heck this morning, though? Yeah, you're probably going to end up here before too long getting the weather that I got last night, Chrysanth. Went to bed at 10 and woke up at 2? You got 4 hours of sleep? What are you doing? You're going to have a nice, fantastic nap today. I'm calling it now fantastic. You're going to have a nap which befits your name. Okay. So we got to find a good external wall for this. And I've already decided... excuse me. I've already decided that this wizard is going to have a tower of 7 walls. Stone bridge. Stone crenellations wall? What is that? Do I need to Google what crenellations are? I do need to Google what crenellations are. A pattern along the top of a parapet, most often in the form of multiple rectangular spaces on top. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I knew that. We're not going that fancy. Maybe the top floor's got that, but not this one. This one... That's a great idea, fantastic. Whose dumb idea was the Wizard's Tower? Stone steps. Interesting. Lots of different textures. That... Where is the correct wall? Flame Frost? That sounds like a good idea. Ah, thank you, Dave, for the wonderful emotes over on Kick. Lots of... memory glands. Thank you. I wonder whose channel you got those from. Let's see, we need to make a portal. Let's see. Let's get a grid going here and see. Is this Wizard's Tower going to be absolutely massive? Let's get it just about right there. Yeah. See how many sides we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not right. We're gonna have to adjust this. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I had to make sure I got this doorway centered, or else it was going to drive me bonkers. You found out some people vacuum every day. Whew. Yeah, no comment. You think I'm not comfortable living in my own filth? Of course I am. Although, it's mostly my dog's filth. I'll pass the blame on to them. Oh, I didn't even see you talking over on the kick side. Why 7 sides? I haven't decided yet, but I feel like 7 sides is a septagon is not an often used shape, and if it's noticed, it could be significant enough to where the GM actually comes up with a reason. Now, I could come up with a reason. Let's see. You know what? I'll tell you what. Why don't we see what some significance of the number 7 is. I mean, 7 days in creation, you know. Seven colors in the visual rainbow. In numerology, 7 is associated with introspection, wisdom, hidden knowledge, spiritual awakening, analysis, and intelligence. The number 7 is a strong blend of being small enough to feel meaningful, large enough to feel significant, and rare enough to feel special. So overall, 7 is significantly culturally tied to completion, divine order, and mystery, which is why it's used constantly in religion, storytelling, and symbolism. And so that was kind of my line of thinking. I mean, then, you know, maybe not so succinct a terminology. That was kind of my line of thinking in using the number 7 when determining the number of sides this polygon would have, other than just like, you know, just a circle, right? It could be any number of things. In Hinduism, there's 7 chakras. In Islam, there are 7 heavens. And pilgrims circle the Kaaba 7 times during the Hajj. I don't know anything about Islam, but I guess that's significant. 7 is tied to enlightenment, symbolism, and sacred steps in some traditions of Buddhism. So if you wanted to go the religious route, you could do that. I like the idea that there are 7 colors in the visible rainbow. The girl isn't overthinking. Oh, wait. I should clean today, not because I have people coming over. I found out some people vacuum every day. The girl is an overthinking, anxiety-ridden homebody who can't have gluten. I feel like over-vacuuming is the least of her problems. Yeah. there, if that is something that is noticed, there are several things that will be noticed first. Gotta find just the right door. Oh, you know what, though? You know what? Screw that. This is high magic, right? See what we're doing here? We're putting some standing stones. With, I don't know if you guys can see, but they've all got runes on them. And if that's the case, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make each side an entrance. But each one of these stones, here's what I'm thinking, okay? And let's make some notes here. Standing stones. Each standing stone comes in a pair with a corresponding side to the tower. Each pair is combined to formulate the opening word or phrase for its side. Let's see. Let's see what this can come up with. I'm just going to use this as an example just so I can get my line of thinking straight. Oh, hello, Kaio. How are you, my friend? Go get you some coffee. Care Bear Stare, probably the 7 colors of the rainbow. Give me a... Okay, let me do this. Let's see what ChatGPT says on this. Caillou! Alright. A wizard's tower has 7 sides. Each side has 2 standing stones with markings or runes which combine to create a passphrase or password to enter into its corresponding side to the tower. Give me an example of what the pair of stones might say to enter the tower. Okay, it just gave me the passphrases. It's like stone 1, Ash remembers. Stone 2, the first spark. Passphrase, Ash remembers the first spark. Ugh. I was like, no, it needs to be a puzzle. All right, stone 1. I am born each day, yet I never live. Speak my name and the shadows flee. Password, Dawn. Oh, that's good. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. Man, I'll tell you what. I feel you. I feel you. So when you have 35 minutes, you'll do prep, but not when you have 3 weeks. That is the life of a GM. I'm gonna tell you something. Okay. I have spent there was a particular scene. Well, I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen at least a decent portion of Fear of Ages Past. So the great battle at Tarth Gowron. Is it Tarth Gowron? Oh God. No, Rath-Sareg. The battle at Rath-Sareg. I spent weeks trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to run that. Because the One Ring doesn't come with like a mass battle system, and I wanted it to feel, big, but also create a lot of significance in what the party in particular was doing. And I spent weeks and weeks and weeks trying to formulate a way to run that, a series of dice rolls that the party could make. And I could not get it nailed down. And I think it was the day before we actually recorded that episode that I'm like, all right, boom, got it. Like once you have all of this time, and maybe this is a person to person thing, but it's tough for me in particular to make decisions on how I want to do something until it's like down to it, which is probably a weakness, honestly. But it's quite good. Like, and I think that turned out pretty good, but it's weird how that works. I don't know if Kaio's the same way, but yeah, you can mull over something forever and ever and ever, and then finally when it comes down to it, you just kind of, I don't know if it's like a eureka moment or if it's just one of those things where you just say, screw it, this is how we're doing it. So we'll say, for example, stone 1. In Elvish. No, we'll call it in Sylvan. Let's see. What would be a good one? Crunch time choice. Indeed. Indeed. Sometimes I found that as long as I start working on something, I kind of figure it out as I go. Yeah. You know, and see, that's the thing, especially with TTRPGs, it's hard for me to actually plan out long term. And I honestly, for TTRPGs, I don't think you should plan out long term. Because, like with Jacob's Ladder in particular, I went and I wrote a big long document, and it's not the biggest document, but I wrote a long document about, you know, the story, some of the places, what happens there, and stuff. And it just clicked with me that I'm like, why am I preparing all of this stuff? All I need is the core bone, and this is something I've known for a while, but I've had a hard time sticking with it because, you know, especially on stream, I'm so used to running things which are pre-written and have all the details down and all that stuff. And so I want that same kind of resource for something that I'm writing. But I had to stop and like take a step back and be like, okay, I don't need all this because there's no guarantee that the players are going to want to interact with this. And I'm not going to force them down a road that they're going to interact with it. But it was like a big, you know, 14, 15 page document of just text. Here's what happens, all this. And like at this point, I'm basically, at this point in the story, I'm basically past where we're at. All I needed were, you know, here's a place that this thing can be found. Here's what that thing says. Go. That's it. And then you just kind of fill in the blanks as you go. Like, you know, it was kind of nice having some stuff prepared out and stuff, but honestly, you don't need it. You need to read Frost's book for GMs if he ever finishes it. Yeah, for sure. Okay. I mean, we already know what this is. Here, that one's easy. That one's easy. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. The more you take, the more you leave behind. I don't know what. Oh, I don't know what that has to do with anything. A rune of a cracked skull with a star inside. Stone 2. In Sylvan. I am the path of every thief and every saint. Boom. Solution is footsteps. And maybe it needs to be a little bit more interactive than that. Like maybe just saying the word footsteps in Sylvan doesn't necessarily open it. There you go. See, we got that little note there. Oh, on Monday night, do we ever go someplace or do something that you weren't expecting? Um, I'm trying to think of a particular instance. Honestly, with Monday nights with Call of Cthulhu, that is so. The source material is so dense. It's hard to do anything that wasn't written already. You know, um, yeah. I mean that it's tough. It's tough. As far as the last minute inspiration thing, yep, I've had that plenty of times. I don't like it because it feels like I'm dancing on the edge of disaster. In terms of planning things out, I try to stick to high points, not specifics. More of my prep work involves having maps and encounters ready. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I aim with a beginning, end, and critical middle points and let my players develop the world with me. I make them name their critical NPCs, town names, etc. That's a good approach. I like that. Here, I think what I want to do is I want to rotate. There we go. I think it's in the middle. Looks like it's in the middle. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a kind of a central chamber, I think. Um, Here, let's shrink this down a little bit, actually, because I think this is only going to hold, like, a staircase. I need a centering tool. And I think that is pretty close to the center. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to the center. Let's lock that. And then, oh, you know what? Let's, here, we're going to do this. We're going to duplicate. And we are going to bring this out a little bit. And I think that is going to be... It's going to be like a hallway that surrounds it, maybe? the wall's got to be the same thickness. There we go. That's centered. It looks centered. Ever since you found Dungeon Alchemist, map prep has gotten easier. I like that map making program. Yep, it's map builder. I can either auto-generate to an extent or use manual mode. That can be like what Moss is doing with this app right now. It's also under active development, which is good because that hopefully means it'll keep getting better. Yeah, I really enjoy this map making program I'm using now. However, I find I know I've said it several times on here. Assets. Like and maybe I'm right now what I'm trying to do is run a game that is just too niche. If I was running something that had that was more high fantasy, I would have so much more freedom to do what I want. But as it stands right now, it's just like it gets frustrating because there's a certain map that I want to make right now that I can't think of any way to do because there's just not there's not the pre-made assets for it. Yeah, you will have to do a map making stream at some point to show it off. I like DMing a person with dry erase grid maps. I can just draw rooms. My players ask if there's a tree, and I draw one if I'm feeling it. Yeah. No, that's what I always did when I was here at home. Like, I always wanted to do something like Dwarven Forge. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but Dwarven Forge was, I mean, it's just this really high quality stuff, but you pay out the wazoo for it. And my current group uses dry erase stuff, and it's good enough. Like I'll tell you, my current group is we had a dry erase board, and really all it takes is a good description, and if you're into that, like using Dwarven Forge and similar assets like that is nice, but it's not necessary, right? Yeah. See, and I find that like you can do. Like, you can add custom assets to this. Like, say, for Jacob's Ladder, if I wanted to go and find a bunch of, like, 90s era cars and things like that, you can get that stuff on, what can't I think of it? Drive-Thru RPG. People make that stuff. But again, it's just such a, like, the overhead is just, you're like, oh, I need this car. Oh, well, I need this building. Now I need this military asset. I need this, I need that. And it can add up very quickly. Okay, let's do... Actually, here, why don't we do this? I'm trying to think of a way... Another area that I struggled with this engine is walls. Walls are something that I've always kind of struggled with. Now the question is, how do I want to... If I do it this way. I mean, I could just easily have corresponding walls that go to each. Yeah. Why don't we just do it that way? That way we can do. Well. See, I like the idea of there being a door specifically here. Right? And then maybe they need a passphrase to get through that. Because it's a wizard's tower. Why wouldn't you need a passphrase, right? Yeah, gotta have it. Oh, man. No, 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 no. I think that's good. Yeah, I just need to move the door over a little bit. I have to have things perfectly centered. There we go. Otherwise, it's going to look off and it's going to drive me nuts. Okay, I think that's good. That's good. Right now, I'm struggling with sci-fi assets, which I need for cyberpunk scenes. Yeah, I mean, Incarnate has good stuff for cyberpunk scenes. I will say that for cyberpunk, yeah. For me, it's 90s stuff. I have friends that do all theater of the mind. Yeah, cost is hard. Seven-sided building isn't going to help with walls. Every door is magic. Yeah. What is your opinion of Blondie? Honestly, I am not super. I'm not super familiar with Blondie. Like, I know, like, if I heard a Blondie song, I'd be like, that's Blondie. But, like, off the top of my head, like, is Blondie, no, I'm thinking of Four Non Blondes. I don't know. Who is crazier, James or Moss with everything off center? That's... Oh. Who the F is Blondie? Yeah, the 7 sides aren't going to help with walls. Yeah. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing, though. If I can figure it out, if I can figure out how to do the walls properly, then it'll work really well with making the map seem just like kind of surreal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something that would only make sense to somebody of much higher intelligence, which is not befitting for somebody like me to make. But it's all about faking it till you make it, right? See? Ooh, I like the way that looks, dude. Yes, yes. Okay. That looks so dope. It's like a Pokemon gym badge, but I've been playing a lot of Pokemon here recently, so. Oh yeah. One way or another, I'm gonna find ya. I'm gonna get ya one way. You know where I first heard that song was a Rugrats movie. Why did I figure wagon wheels with a 7-sided tower? That's a good question. Okay. And so kind of what I'm thinking here is like, you've got a separate way in with a separate passphrase for each side of the tower here, right? And then one way in here, but I'm thinking, and tell me what you guys are thinking. Because it might seem like, oh, you just go through here, and then you go through the door and you're good. Not quite that simple. It's, I mean, if we're looking at this being like, a true Wizard's Tower dungeon type situation, the door to get up and downstairs is going to have to be locked, and it's going to need something that comes from each room, right? Like, you're not just going to be able to get through this door with, just opening it or unlocking it. Like, there's going to be an arcane lock on it or something that is either going to require a high-level spell to dispel, or, like, here, let me do the thing. Where am I? Let's see. I'm just looking at 5e for a reference here. I miss having physical books for stuff. Like, I've got physical books for the One Ring in 5th edition, but I don't have physical books for anything else. Which kind of sucks, because I really like being able to flip through the pages. Let's see. Arcane Lock. 2nd level abjuration. You touch a closed door, window, gate, or chest, or other entryway, and it becomes locked for the duration. Which is until dispelled. You and the creatures you designate when you cast the spell can open the object normally. You can also set a password that, when spoken within 5 feet of the object, suppresses the spell for 1 minute. Otherwise, it is impassable until it is broken, or the spell is dispelled or suppressed. Casting Knock on the object suppresses the arcane lock for 10 minutes. While affected by this spell, the object is more difficult to break or force open. The DC to break it, or pick any locks increases by 10. See, it'd be nice, like that. I don't know. I like the idea of the party, being like having to play on the wizard's field. You know what I mean? Like, this is a high-level wizard we're talking about here. Now, unless there is a high-level wizard in the party, well, okay. Let me look here, because there's like an 80% chance here that anybody who uses this map is going to be playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. If anybody ever uses this map. Where's Knock? Knock. 2nd level transmutation. Choose an object that you can see within range. The object can be a door, box, chest, or set of manacles, or padlock, or any other object that contains a mundane or magical means to prevent access. A target that is held shut by a mundane lock or a stuck bar becomes unlocked, unstuck, or unbarred. If the object has multiple locks, only one of them is unlocked. If you choose a target that is held shut with arcane lock, that spell is suppressed for 10 minutes, during which the target can be opened and shut normally. When you cast a spell, a loud knock, audible from far away as 300 feet, emanates from the target object. Well, okay. That actually, that presents opportunities, okay? I kind of like that, believe it or not. I kind of like that. Yes, Angelica was looking for Cynthia. Yes, absolutely. Oh, just Pathfinder Savage Worlds teleport at the top of the tower. Well, what happens when you find out that there's no way into the tower from the top? Like, you think a wizard's tower would have windows? Of course not. Drop a large weight through the roof and watch the tower fall. I mean, you could fly an airplane into it and watch it melt the steel beams. Okay, gotta go so I don't be late. Have a great Saturday and a blessed Easter Sunday. Thank you, Kaio. God bless you, my friend. Now you're talking my language. Airplane versus Wizard Tower. Alright, so. There would have to be a certain test in each one of these rooms, and I think what I want to do here, let's just put some flooring down right quick and see where we get. See, I don't know what it is, and I've had this forever. Whenever I mouse over this, I know you guys can't see it on stream, but whenever I mouse over the map, it increases the sharpness like by a ton, and I don't know how to fix that. And it kind of drives me bonkers because the sharpness just, it adds like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Mm. Yeah, I don't like that. Too gray. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I like that. Green? Squares and triangles? Yeah, man. Of course, why not? I mean, technically, this is a rectangle. I don't know. I'm still not sold on it. Wait, what is a rectangle? Well, a rectangle is not a square. All right, we're just brainstorming here. Let's see. Interesting. I'm not sure. All right, Dave, you and your nature to correct people. Let me look up the definition of a rectangle. Because a quadrilateral can also be a rectangle. Oh, okay. You're right. It has a rectangle has 4 right angles. All right, I stand corrected. These look like 70s linoleum floors. I mean, we could do different floors for each one. Or what if we did something like this? Yeah, Roy G. Biv, we could do that. The floor is lava. I don't know. Is this treasure orange? We like a Scrooge McDuck type room. We're just spitballing here. At this point, like, the idea is to just be weird. Let's see. Roy G. Biv. Yeah, we color outside the lines here. We'll clean it up. We'll clean it up. Well, see, what I had thought about doing, we could do this, and see, I'm thinking, like, you know, different colors of the rainbow. We got blue, red, orange, or yellow. But I had also thought about, like, I could play with the lighting a little bit in each room, and maybe each room has, like, you know, crystals or something like that, magical crystals that emit a different colored light. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Gold coins, if you pick them up, they immediately go back to the floor, or they crumble into ash or something like that. I just thought of a particularly racist monster that could be found in the gold room. All right, I tell you what, give me just a moment. I'm going to run and grab some more coffee and possibly some Wawa. And I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Juice monster, a leprechaun. No, not a leprechaun. And as you pick up the stone, a small creature reveals himself, green in the skin, but you notice a tiny hat sitting at the top of his head. He rubs his fingers together greedily. Oh, gosh. I shouldn't have said that. That's mean. But it's also funny. No, I'm not the small creature. Hey, JJ, how's it going, brother? Okay, so here, let me try something real quick. I'm gonna spend 15 minutes doing this thing here, so that way I can illustrate a point, and then we might end up scrapping it. All right, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna change. Do overlay. So there's like. Yeah, okay. So we've got. There. So I'm sure you guys can see. with this room in particular, so tell me what you guys think, all right? We've got this room, and it could have any number of objects, obstacles, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But we've got these sconces in here, which portray green, right? Versus, we've got this room, which basically takes a theme after the color blue, being water. How many sections? There's 7 sections to this floor, right? And so each room, like the initial idea I had was to have each room have some just different colored, like you just play with the lighting themes, right? Otherwise, like we've got this room which is red. This is red, so it'd be, I have the floor is lava. This room is yellow, so the floor is gold pieces. This floor is blue, so it's full of water. Well, it just looks green to you because there's lily pads in it. I could take the lily pads out. Dave, you've always got this condescending tone to everything you say. I don't know how you managed to do that. There. There, blue. I like the other one because it's here, we'll do this one because it's like somewhere in between. That way you've got little plants growing out of it, but you can still tell it's shallow. It is not green, dude. What are you talking about? I think you might be yeah, you might be high. There's a green tint to it, but it is not green. Seven sections, 7-minute abs, 7 little chipmunks sitting on a branch, eating lots of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. What? I mean, you could do, like, deep blue ocean, but I don't know if that would really... But I like the idea of shallow water, because that way you'd be able to traverse around... I like the idea of you being able to traverse around the room still, but it being, of course with lava you wouldn't be able to traverse around the room. I don't know. We're just doing we're just spitballing here. What is the green section for? I don't know yet. We're, like I said, this is supposed to be just kind of weird. I mean, it's a wizard's tower, so it's going to be, like, the rooms are each going to be weird. I think I've already got an idea for the next floor, but we'll get to that when we get to it. We gotta build this floor first. The next floor, the idea I have for the next floor is going to be very difficult to construct. But I'm just curious as to what you guys think as far as, actually having different kinds of terrain for each color. Or if it's something... This is the first floor, VJJ. So this is where they come in. And I don't know if you just got here, but I'll go over it one more time. So basically, we've got 7 sides to the tower. Each side of the tower has a corresponding set of standing stones. The standing stones contain some sort of a hint to a riddle to their corresponding side. And that's how you get through the wall. You'll notice that there's no doors. But in order to get through this central door here, to get to the staircase that leads up to, or the teleportation circle, one of the two, that gets up to the next floor, you have to get through this door. And in order to get through this door, you need something from each of these rooms. You like the terrain? Okay, you like the terrain. Okay. So Ixnay on the lights. Perfect. All right, now we've got a direction. I like it. Okay. Actually, we might keep this. And then I will put nah, we're gonna make water leading up to this. Like, they're gonna have to get here first. Maybe the palm tree doesn't quite fit. All right, let's just figure out what all we're gonna do with our rooms. So we need a green room. Acid? We could do acid. Yeah. You have a crick in your shoulder, let loose, dam, and drain it. A creek. So the prettiest turquoise water when you visited Florida. Florida, I would... Oh, man. I was actually talking to some friends of mine the other day, and I was like, man, you know, I would totally move to Florida. I just don't want to... I don't want to leave my family and friends behind. You know? And he was just like, I think you should do it. He's like, I think you should move to Florida. I think he secretly hates me. Now you want to ask why the acid is blue. All right. Here, let's All right, we've got, let's see, we've got blue, red, yellow, green. What do we got? What do we got left? Orange, violet. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Ooh. Hmm. Let's see. Indigo is a little darker. So I saw something in here that really we could use. And violet is a little bit lighter. So this is Fey Grass. So we're summoning a little bit of the Feywild in here. So that'll be our indigo. We need our orange, and then we're gonna break up the patterns with let's see. Orange. You could do lava again, but I don't want to do lava a second time. Is there like a reddish dirt? Orange sand. There we go. I think maybe this is just a room full of onks. Man, you set some onks. Like if this was the first room they came into, and you set some onks on them, they start eating their swords and stuff. Whew. Nasty stuff. Alright, and then we got violet, which... I mean, the only other thing that I can see that would be violet would be this other Fey dirt. 7 sciences, liberal arts, life science, physical science, math, humanities, social science, linguistics, and art. Gators, pythons, sharks, and all that, and that homeless guy who got high on bath salts and ate that guy's face. All the things in Florida. Yeah, Florida's great though, man. I gotta tell you, like the only like I said that obviously I don't want to leave my friends and my family behind, but also it's like for example, like I live in my state's capital, and it's like the capital is great to look at, but I don't even see it anymore. You know, I walk out on my front yard and there it is. Like I can just look off to my right and, you know, the Capitol's right there. I can see it from my front yard. I don't even see it anymore. And I'd be afraid that if I were to move somewhere like Florida, instead of going there, you know, once a year, every other year, something like that, it would lose its specialness. Yeah, well, I might be anemic, but I'll tell you what. I I can't stand the cold anymore. I can't stand it. I live in a small town called Bourbon instead of a state capital. We have a water tower that says Bourbon that is famous because it reminds the world this town is full of drunks. That is very true. Very true. Let's see. I don't think this is... Yeah, this hasn't updated at all. Restream says that there's only been 36 messages sent. I think it's only counting... Wait. Hold on. Let me check something. Yeah, and I don't know what it's talking about. Okay, so we need to clean this up a little bit, I think. Hmm. Women love the dad bod look. Is that true, though? I don't know. Women say they like certain things, and they actually like other things. Ugh. Oh, gosh. Ooh. What time is it? 9:45? All right, we got some time. We got some time. It's not like I'm pressed for time anyway. I don't know if there's really going to be anything for me to do today. I do need to go to the gym at some point, but... Here, let's, bring these up to 1. We're just going to add some character to these walls here. Roman firefighter. I see so many weird outfits with that statement, but they all have burnt knees. Sassy witch gets it. Oh, okay. Ooh, bold statement from Dave. Women lie. I mean, everybody lies to a certain extent, but, Ooh, good point. Thank you, Incarnate, for letting me know that I need to save. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So, we've got some character here. Obviously, we've got a little pathway. Let's see. Women lying that they don't fully know what they want in life. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, when you ask a man what he wants out of life and he tells you he doesn't know, like, if he doesn't actually know, he'll just say, I don't know. Or he'll give you 50 different things that he wants and we'll never be able to accomplish all of them. Chiseled guys are chiseled for themselves and their gym friends, not the ladies. That is 100% true. 100% true. It starts off as being for the ladies. And then they get around all those other dudes who are like super cut and built and stuff, and it becomes a competition. 100%. Yep. That said, it's not like it's unhealthy to be like that, you know? Like you want to be healthy. Maybe taking it to the extent that some guys take it as excessive. But I mean, you know, it's good to be strong. It's good to have muscle, and it's good to, you know, watch your intake of certain things, which, you know, I need to really watch my intake of peanut butter. I buy peanut butter like once every couple of months now because it's just gone. I I can't stop myself from eating peanut butter. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking this here. Yep, Moss chisels for the dudes and Kaio chiseled for the ladies. That's about right. You know, Joe Rogan on his podcast said something that kind of stuck with me a while back. And I can't remember who he was talking to. But he said something, I'll paraphrase it. He says, being able to walk into a room and knowing that you are in control of who does and does not get hurt is a feeling that it's intoxicating for some people. And I wanted that feeling, you know? That's why I took boxing. That's why I took jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Now, I'm not the most proficient in either one of those things. In fact, I'm quite mediocre at both. But being mediocre at both is better than being untrained. I go through phases with peanut butter. Sometimes I freaking love it, and other times it sits in the cabinet untouched. Dude, the only times it sits in my cabinet untouched is when I have it in a mouse trap and I've already gotten all the mice. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at... They have a pretzel. Yeah, they have a pretzel. Let's see. What can we do with all this stuff? I feel like this is going to take some, like, massive planning. And this is going to be another one of those projects that takes me weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks. But honestly, I'm kind of here for it. I am untrained. I could tell you how the difference between the Spartan and the Macedonian phalanx is, but I can't do a pull-up. Oh. I couldn't tell you that. There is a place for both kind of man, or both kind of men in this world. Unfortunately, with the advent of AI and robotics, their place is, in both cases, is shrinking. Did you guys hear about that Oracle layoff? Freaking 30,000 jobs Oracle got rid of. 30,000 jobs. They just laid them off that day. They're like, oh, yeah, by the way, you don't have a job anymore. Miss Guzzi? I'm the person who mixes peanut butter and chocolate ice cream. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that sounds delightful. Actually, yeah, let's move these over here. Yeah, I like this idea. Oh, thank you, Chrysanth, with the 2 gifted. Oh, I didn't even see Kaio subscribing with the. Oh my goodness. Yeah, gifted Chrysanth gifted a sub to both Biggles and Kaio. Okay, don't worry, Chrysanth. I will. I won't tell him. Thank you, Chrysanth. You're keeping the lights on over here. Hmm. Yeah, let's go back. Always the leader, never the follower. I like your style, Chrysanth. Hey, you. I got a puppy. Hey, puppy. What you doing? Hey, yous. Hey, you. It's just a little Fey house in the middle of this little Fey glade. Yes, puppy. Puppy. Hmm. But is there a Fey gate? That's a good question, Dave. I don't think I will. I don't think I will include a Fey gate in this map. Hmm. Let's find a good floor for this little house. Hmm. Nothing's really catching my eye. No. Chrysanth, did you scare Dave off? No, Dave's over in the kick chat. Why aren't I a Fey gate? Well, you can't, because you can't just pass through me. Hmm. I'm gonna spend forever on this little Fey house. Good morning, Freddy. I like to think I'm real. Ooh. Let's see. Let's see. I think this room in particular might require a social interaction. And that, I think, might be what I'm building this map around. Maybe, just maybe. I don't know. It's difficult. Let's see. What else do we have around here? Oh, look at that, a pile of firewood. Exactly what I needed several times and had to construct myself. I'm not sure how I want to do this. I don't know. Would a Fae need firewood? Would a Fae need any of this? Probably not. Do a barrel roll. Does give us this day our daily bread refer to the Lord's Supper in your mind? Good question. I mean, when you say, for some reason, whenever you say the Lord's Supper, immediately what comes to mind is the Last Supper. But I'm not the best authority to speak on that because I'm not Catholic, nor am I Lutheran. For example, when making stones disappear when the player grabs it or when things get carried. So basically the only way that I would be able to do that is if I did it in Foundry. And then I could export the map as a JSON file, and it could be downloaded that way. Basically, I would be making the map Foundry VTT ready, which, like, you think this is time intensive? That is intensive. Oh, do we got Star Wars today on Moonskull? Oh, yeah. Yep, Gangsters Don't Cry is live right now. Yeah, double dipping. Never question my mod powers. Moss practices a polytheistic religion based on the gods of the Lord of the Rings. His church believes Tolkien was a prophet and that the time of the ring and Frodo is yet to come. The time of the ring and Frodo is already past, my friend. That is the story of the earth. That is the story of the powers that came before. We are in the 7th age of man, my friend. All right, bye, Dave. I see how it is. Can't this be VTT ready? I mean, it could be, but basically what I would have to do is go in, and once I have this map done, I have to go into Foundry and basically set it up. I just have to set it up. And that is... That would take a while. That would take quite a bit. That'd be quite the feat. And that is a feat for somebody who has a lot more time on their hands than I do. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think I'm kind of running into a wall at this point, so I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Star Wars is already going on, and I know you guys are. We kind of double dip on our audiences here, but I think we are gonna go ahead and end it there. Oh, why is Crusade not modded over here? That's a great question. Mostly because, I mean, Chrysanthus got so many. You don't have to talk to JJ about it. Chrysanthus got so many duties already with her mod responsibilities over on other channels. I wouldn't want to place that weight on her shoulders. Oh, I appreciate that, Freddie. I appreciate that. We're all here because of me. Yes, give me the attention. Give me all of the attention. That's how I thrive. All right. So, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all scoot. Because there's a lot of stuff going on. I'll tell you what, maybe I need to get something to eat, and then later on today, I might play a little bit of Crimson Desert. We'll see what the appetite is for that, but I think, yeah, I've been playing without you guys. Sorry about that. Just saying. But I will leave it there. Don't forget, Jacob's Ladder did come out yesterday. The newest episode of Jacob's Ladder. So definitely want to go and check that out. It's a lot of fun. And you know what I really appreciate about that is that the players really just kind of make it their own. That was the whole idea. It's about the characters that I like. You know, the story that I put forward is it's all fine and dandy. It's not overly, it's not complicated. It's not, you know, life-changing. You know, it is what it is. The players really really step forward and make it their own. So I really appreciate that. And if that's something you like to see, then definitely go and check that out. Also, Sanguine Destiny on Wednesdays. And then definitely want to check out Avenue Studios and Moonskull for sure, because I'm on both of those channels. If this isn't enough of me to really wet your whistle for some reason, definitely want to go and check those out. Yeah, go check them out anyway, even on the streams that I'm not on. So, with that, I will bid you all adieu, chat. We love you. God bless you. Happy Easter. And, yeah, adieu, auf Wiedersehen, Gesundheit. And, Happy Easter.